Jude Yap, president of Chiang Kai-shek College. I grew up in a family that truly values the importance of education. It was actually my grandparents, my angkong, my ama, and my guakong who migrated from China to the Philippines. And like most of our ancestors, they did not have much formal education. So they made sure that when they moved here to the Philippines, their children, including my parents, will be able to get good education. I studied in Tiongse Academy for grade school. Tiongse Academy is the oldest Chinese school in the Philippines. And then I moved to Chiang Kai-shek College in high school. Back then, the teachers were very, very strict, as you know. We'd never end the day without finishing whatever we have to do. If we have to write Chinese calligraphy, in Chinese we call it yung xiao kai, tai kai, lai xia mo pit, then we have to do it after class. Grade school, to me at that time, was fun. It's full of memories kasi I used to join a lot of activities. In high school naman, in the mornings, we would have our flag ceremony, listen to words of wisdom from our principal. Then around 1,500 or 2,000 of us high schoolers would have to stay at the quadrangle. So in the afternoon, there's a flag retreat. So again, we'd be doing the same thing, this time in Chinese version. And the CAT officer, once that's finished, he would say, "Jiesan," which means it's over. My very first dream, I wanted to become a doctor because I got mesmerized and amazed by these professionals wearing all white robes, treating patients. Then I wanted to become an engineer. I watched too much cartoons, and from my imaginations, I would be drawing cities. So I thought I would be building large structures and edifices. And then I also dreamed to become an actor. In high school, I got involved in school journalism. So I wanted to become a broadcaster, watching television, but eventually none of those happened actually. Little or in no way would I have ever thought that I'd become an academic. As I've said, I was active in scouting. I love doing scouting, so much so that even after I graduated high school, I stayed as a volunteer with the school as a scout leader, eventually going up to the ranks of becoming a scoutmaster. Basically, the students who came for physical classes, they were very happy kasi after 2 years na they're at home, it's the first time for them to come back to school. They're really very happy. Suddenly, in 1990, one day, our president then, Professor Chin Yin Xiao, and the vice president, Mrs. Joan Sicotio, invited me to the office and asked me if I wanted to become a faculty member or a teacher. At that time, I was already a certified public accountant. I was working with an auditing firm in Makati. So I made that decision na sabi ko, why not? It's my alma mater. I wanted to give back. And it's gonna be part-time anyway. After 2 to 3 years, I was again offered to work in the office as an assistant to the Office of Student Affairs, to the Dean of Student Affairs. And then from there, I started growing up the ranks. I became the Assistant Dean of Student Affairs, eventually to become the Dean. And then as I worked in the school, I was assigned to different positions. I became a purchasing officer, a director for admin affairs, a building and grounds officer, and then at the school registrar, the director for student life. Recently, I was promoted to vice president for external linkages and alumni affairs, handling all the external work and the public relations of the school. And eventually, today, I'm the president of Chiang Kai-shek College. We've always said that teaching is a noble profession. And I'd be a testament to that. You know, if you go teaching or you become an educator, salary might not be that high, regardless of whether you're in a public or private setting. But honestly, the greatest fulfillment of a teacher, whether you're a teaching or a non-teaching personnel, is to see your students growing up, to see them become successful, and then to know that in some way or the other, you're able to contribute to how they became, and that they are now productive and contributing to our society and our country. We used to memorize everything. So sometimes, we might not understand what we're studying, but we get everything through memorization just to pass. But this time we changed the curriculum na to become more adapted to the community, to society. So what's important for us is, for example, in Chinese curriculum, students are able to speak, to listen, to write. And then if we throw them at, for example, in Beijing or in Shanghai or in Taipei and leave them in the market, they'd be able to survive doing haggling or going back home without a teacher or anything. So it becomes very practical on the part of the students. But at the same time, they still remember the history, the culture, the tradition. But being Filipinos born here na, they appreciate both worlds na. I'm quite idealistic as of now. But going into the different plans that I've set up when I was invested into the office, first of all, we're doing our accreditation or authorization with the International Baccalaureate program. I hope that during my term, we'd get full authorization from preschool all the way to grade 12. Hopefully, we'd become one of the very, very few schools in the Philippines who have done so. And then, to get our affiliation with the Montessori Institute of America for our Montessori programs. We're currently level 3 in accreditation for PAASCU. That's the highest level of accreditation for basic education. Other than that, by next year, hopefully, we'll be able to be the first Chinese-Filipino institution to offer doctoral programs, both in business administration and in education. I believe the track record of Chiang Kai-shek College over the last 8 decades is already a testament of the quality of education that we provide. And therefore, it is also a solid proof of why parents would always choose Chiang Kai-shek College. There's a lot of things to be done. I'm very thankful na my predecessors really did a lot for the school, but I think we'll be doing still a lot of things. Education is a constant improvement. Education has to always go forward. So we're looking forward to providing much more for our students, our stakeholders. A modern Cikatian is someone who looks at his past, his roots, knowing that he has Chinese blood, but at the same time looks forward, looks at the future, and blends what he learned from school, from Chiang Kai-shek College, the Western and the Eastern culture, the traditions, and use them to maximize his potentials and abilities. And from there, become, as I've said, a contributory, a productive member of whichever society or wherever he may be. Hi, I'm Jude Yap, a proud Cikatian and the president of Chiang Kai-shek College.